Okay, hello, my friends. It is January 2022, shop my stash time. Can you even believe it? First month, almost down. It's not quite the end of the month. It is January 24th when I'm filming this, so we still got like a week to go, but we're nearing the end. Anyway, I am going to start with priming, as one does. So my usual priming suspects, the Makeup Forever Mattifying Primer first. Then I'm going to take the Vichy Mineral 89 Skin Fortifying Daily Booster. And then I'm going to take the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Glotion in the shade 901 Fair. I'm actually almost out of this. And I'm just going to put this all over my face. For foundation today, I'm going to take the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation, which I might have used last in December. I actually don't know. I just felt like I was in the mood to use it today. I washed my brushes last night. It's so exciting. It's like the best feeling when you have clean brushes. Okay, brow time. So I'm going to take my spoolie, put it in my soap. I'm going to just brush it through my brows. I've been really feeling my brows lately. I feel like they're in a good place. But I'll probably look back at them in 6 months and be like, oh my god. While I wait for my brows to set, I'm going to take my NARS Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. I'm going to prime my eyes using my NARS Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. And then I'm also going to take a little bit of concealer right in the inner part of my eyes and blend it out just to conceal the darkness there before I go in with eyeshadow. And then I'm going to fill in my brows using my NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Tint Pen in the shade Auburn. I need my little mirror for this though. Okay, it's eye time, baby. Now, I also, we have the drilling again, which is, I was just like, ugh, I'm making this video, but they haven't even started drilling yet. So that's, that's here today. I wanted to recreate this look that I saved on Instagram by, her username is Cass Grug Makeup. I'll put a picture of the picture and her username on the screen. Love it. It's not something that I ever would have like come up with in terms of color combination, and I saw it and I was like, I know I have to recreate that. So and she used the Likely Makeup Ugly palette, which I have. I think she used other stuff too, so I'm gonna, kind of tweak it a little bit, but she used the shades Painterly, Abstract, and Amanita. So which ones are those? So the blue Abstract is this purple, and then the red. So I'm just gonna kind of use this as a general inspiration, and then I'm going to use, I think, my Odin's Eye Hummingbird Palette in collaboration with Tina for the shimmers. And that is the plan. So I'm going to use first, though, from the Hummingbird Palette, the shade Clear Blue, which is this light blue, just because I'm a basic hoe and I like to use a lighter shade just to help with blending first. I don't need to do this, but it's in this palette, so I figured I might as well. So obviously it's a halo eye. Oh my god, I can't see. My mirror is like, I can't even see it. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to take this in a more rounded shape. I haven't done like a look based off of someone else's look in a while, and I'm so excited about this. And I'm excited to use these palettes again. And this is why Shop My Stashes are staying around in 2022. And then I'm going to take the shade Painterly from the Likely Makeup Ugly palette, which is like the best blue ever. And I'm going to put this in my inner and outer corners and run it through my crease, as one does with a halo eye. But this, seriously, like the color story of this palette isn't like the most unique and like special, but the way that these mattes perform, I honestly think that they're one of my favorite matte formulas that I have or that I've used. I absolutely cannot wait to see what she comes out with in terms of like eyeshadow palettes in the future, or just anything. Honestly, I feel like if Likely Makeup releases anything, I'm gonna buy it. Okay, and so I'm pretty sure she used the shade Abstract in her crease as well, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm gonna basically put this in the same place as I put the Painterly shade, but just a little bit more concentrated. Of course, this eye is watering. We love it. We love the drilling. When you mix this with Painterly, it turns into like a really dark blue almost. I feel like this shade Abstract is really obviously like you're blending shades together, but it's a really nice shade because it's obviously a beautiful purple, but it mixes with a lot of other shades in this palette to just create other colors. I don't know, I'm into it. Okay, so before I go in with my lid shades, I'm just going to cut the center of my crease, or like, you know, the center of my eyelid, just because I feel like for halo eyes and my eye shape, it kind of works a little bit better for me. So I'm going to do that and I'll be back. Okay, so they look a little bit weird. I'm hoping, and uneven, I'm hoping that everything kind of comes together in the end. That's all you can do. Let's hope. Okay, so I'm just going to take a little bit more of Painterly and just blend the edges of this. And then I'm going to take a little bit of a smaller brush and just run this right over the edge, or like the center. I'm going to take Abstract and build that up in my inner and outer corners. And then I'm going to take this really small brush with the shade Abstract and put this, just stamp it on the edge of where I cut my lid. Okay, well hopefully I'll finesse that a little bit more once I have my lid shades on, but for now, this is where we're at. I'm not loving the way I'm blending these, but it's okay. So, for my lid, she used, it looks like an orange on the like inner and outer parts, like on the edges of the lid, and then a like lighter gold almost in the center. So I'm gonna take the shade Feathers, right? No. So I'm gonna take the shade Swallowtail from the Hummingbird palette, and then I think I'm gonna put Beach Sands in the center. It might be a little less gold, but I think it'll work out. So I'm gonna take some NYX glitter primer and put that in the, like, on my lid where I want my shadows to go. So now I'm gonna take Swallowtail and put that on the like inner and outer parts of my lid, which we're just gonna see how this goes. Okay, and then I'm gonna take Beach Sands. And put it in the middle. So, okay, I'm just gonna do the same thing on the other eye, and then we can come back and finesse it. Okay, so this eye I think looks way better. But I think to save it, I am going to, well, I actually think that I want Swallowtail to be like further out. So I'm gonna add more to the edges. Okay, and then I'm gonna take just Abstract and kind of, am I filming? Yes, fade the edges of this, just because, well, blue and orange aren't gonna fade great together. And I'm just trying to blend the edges of these, of the shadow a little bit more. We're gonna make it there. Theirs or hers just looks so good. Mine is looking like a piece of shit, but it's fine, it's fine. I have faith that we'll get there in the end. Okay, I'm gonna take clear blue one more time and run this over the edges. And then I'm gonna go back in, or actually, first I'm gonna take Swallowtail and Beach Sands on my fingers and use those and intensify them on my lid. Also gonna try to just kind of like diffuse the edges, blend everything out. Usually I find that this helps if I'm having trouble blending something. Okay, and then I'm going to go back in with my little brush and the shade Abstract and stamp this over the edge again, carefully. Just to kind of keep that shape. Okay, I feel like it's coming together now. I have hella fallout from the purple over here. So, first of all, let me try to get this purple fallout away. And then I'm going to take my concealer, which is the Covergirl Trublend Undercover Concealer. Oh, but first, let me zoom you out. And then I'm just gonna spot conceal with my NARS, nope, yes, I was gonna say smudge proof eyeshadow base. I'm gonna spot conceal with my NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. Get all my jawline pimples. I'm going to contour using my KVD Beauty Liquid Gel Contour. I'm going to now use my Danessa Myricks Cream Bronzer in Light. Okay, now I'm going to powder. I'm going to take my Maybelline Loose Powder in the shade 05 Fair and just put this in all the usual places. And then I'm just going to take some Hourglass powder and dust this off. I'm going to take my Rimmel Stay Matte and use this to set my whole face. And I'm also not having the best skin day that I've ever had either, but you gotta push through. And then I'm going to take my Hourglass Ambient Lighting powder and put this all over my face. Now I'm going to take the shade Amanita from the Ugly palette, which I believe she used in her lower lash line. So I'm gonna do that. Just run this all underneath. I'm excited to finish this up because I feel like I just want to see it all come together. Okay, that's all blended out. So now I'm going to take Abstract and use that to deepen this up. And then I'm going to editorialize a bit. And I'm going to take a little bit of the shade Bellyache, the pink. Or do I want to blend it with the blue? Actually, I take it back. I'm going to go back into the shade Clear Blue from the Hummingbird palette and blend it out with that, just to kind of tie the upper and lower, like the lower lash line and my eyelid together. You know what I mean? And again, editorializing. I'm going to take a little bit more of the NYX glitter primer. I'm just going to take like a very tiny amount and put this in the center of my lower lash line. Just because I want to put the orange here, I think, and I want it to be like, I want it to stick. And then I'm going to take Swallowtail, which was the orange, and put that, ooh, that worked out very well. Just because sometimes I feel like when I do this, it gets a little bit lost and I want the shade to like stand out a little bit more. So I'm going to do that on the other eye. Okay, today is definitely not a day of ease. So my camera just, the memory card ran out of space. Anyway, and I needed to change the battery. So in my off time, I just put black in my inner and outer parts of my eye, because that's not really exciting anyway. I just used my Pat McGrath single black. And then all I have to do now, I'm gonna take, for my inner corner, it looks like she used something kind of like blue iridescent-y. So I'm going to take my Shine by SD single in Reserve #1. So I feel like it's like a pink blue sparkly iridescent like duochrome shade, so I think it's gonna look good. Oh yeah, and layered over top of like blue, it definitely shines more blue. So that looks really, really good. Oh yeah, that looks good. And then I'm going to actually take a little bit of this and put this on my brow bone. Maybe I'll just use my pinky for that. We're going very, we've leaned into the intensity of this look. I kind of feel like that looks good now that everything has come together though, but I feel like the center of my eye isn't quite as gold as I want it to be, so I'm gonna take from the Pat McGrath Bronze Seduction palette the shade Astral Luna Gold. I'm just gonna tap this in the center just to, first of all, bring more sparkle, because who doesn't want that? And second of all, kind of bring a little bit more gold to that shade. I guess it's a little bit more beige. And you can't go wrong with Bronze Seduction, so. Okay, finally. Base time, finish up my face and be done with this look. So I'm going to take Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. Look at this. I wonder how long it's going to be before I'm actually done it. Not too long. My hair is so frizzy, it's crazy. And then I'm actually going to use a new setting spray today because I just ran out of the one I was using. Which is the e.l.f. Dewy Coconut Setting Mist, because I've reached my point where I decide that I don't have oily skin and I want to use dewy spray. Okay, well this spray is not as fine as the ultra fine mist. That is okay. That's great. It does smell like coconut though, so if you don't like coconut or fragranced things, you won't like it, but I think that's quite pleasant. But it doesn't feel overly like dewy or greasy or anything. It just has a little bit of shine to it, so I don't mind that at all. I wonder what highlighter she used. Oh, she used Flexitarian, so I'm going to use that too. I was actually also going to use that today unprompted, so great minds think alike. Colourpop just released, or announced that they were releasing, I guess, a collection for Valentine's Day, and they are releasing all these blushes and I want them all. If anyone's tried like the blushes that they came out with before in the heart-shaped compacts, let me know. I haven't really been buying from Colourpop, but they look like everything I want. For blush, I'm just going to use this MAC blush in Harmony. I want something just like super neutral because we got a lot going on. Alright, and then I'm going to take some brow gel. This is just the Essence Make Me Brow, and run it through. This is the shade Soft Brownie Brows. And then finally, I'm going to do some freckles with Freck. I'm going to go off camera and finish up, eat some breakfast, because I'm going to be late for work, and conclude. And then I'll be back to conclude. Okay. Okay, and we finally reached the end. This is the finished look. I have to say, I had to trust the process throughout this, and I am really glad I did. I actually really like the way that this came out, and it's not something that I ever would have done realistically from my own brain, but I love it. I feel like a grungy clown. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not feeling like that's a bad thing. On my lips, I used the NYX Lip Liner in Nude Truffle. It's become like my everyday lip liner, honestly. And the Fenty Beauty Gloss Balm in Diamond Milk, keeping it simple. I did load the gloss on today, so I'm eating half of it, but that's okay. Definitely go follow Caskrug Makeup. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but I love their page, really inspiring, and 100% credit for this look goes to them because I literally recreated it. So this is your reminder. Pull out some old stuff, find a look that you like on Instagram or YouTube or whatever, and just play around, because definitely pushed me into my comfort zone, challenged me a lot, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm really happy with the end results. And I love it. Thank you so much for watching this January Shop My Stash video. I'm sadly off to work now. This is a call. Okay, bye.